This is the review of your midterm, the practice midterm, the form diagrams. Just going to go through this. So this is a classic sentence here: x, x prime, two motives, and then y with a cadence here. So it's just a sentence. When it comes to sentences, you don't need to put parallel or any of that kind of stuff on there because it doesn't apply unless there were two of these and they were making a period structure with a sentence, and the sentence is antecedent and consequent. All right, this one right here, we've got 1, 2, 3 phrases. Two of the phrases here at the end are the same, and so what it looks to me like is that this is a half cadence. That's perfect authentic cadence. So this is and there are 6 measures and 4 measures and 4 measures. That's a little complicated. So first off, it is a period. So at the end here, you're going to have the word period, but it is a contrasting because the first part is A and the next part is B, okay? And it's asymmetrical because the A section and the B section are different lengths. That's 6 measures and that's 4 measures. And then it's a 3 phrase period, okay? And if you want to get really technical, you say with repeated consequent. In other words, you're saying that the third phrase is a repeat of the B part or the answer. There are some periods that are actually ABC that don't have repeated sections, but they're really, really rare. Okay, so contrasting, different, right? Asymmetrical because the lengths are different. 3 phrase period with the consequent repeated. All right, this one right here. Oh, focus, camera, focus. If I just leave one hand right there the entire time, it'll stay focused better. Okay. This is what we call a double period because it's got 4 phrases, and that right there is going to be your question, and that's going to be your answer right there. And you can see that this is 4 and then an IAC and then 4 and half cadence. So this is not a period structure right there because that's more than that. When that happens, your spidey sense should sort of tingle and say, I wonder if this is a double period because there's 4 phrases and the first 2 don't make a period, right? And so this is the end of the question and that's the end of the answer right there. And there's 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, so it's all symmetrical, and the beginnings of both of these are similar. So what we have here is a parallel, symmetrical. You can see where we are in the test because I've gone to abbreviations. Double period because the antecedent and the consequent are big enough to have 2 phrases each. Okay, almost all double periods in practical sense are going to be parallel because by the time we get to here, we really need to hear this music again so that you can tell that it's related to each other, right? Here, number 5, we've got A is a half cadence, B is a half cadence, and A prime is a half cadence. This is a trick question, I think. None of these actually make any period structures because they're all the same level of cadence right there. And so I think this is a red herring. I think we call this a phrase group. When you have a phrase group, you don't need to worry about calling it symmetrical, asymmetrical, etc., etc. Okay? Diagram these things. Well, it says a parallel symmetrical period. Okay? Looks like there's only 2 phrases, so we're going to put that there and that there. And if the first one is 6 measures long and it's symmetrical, that means they're the same length. This is not spelled correctly. Old test. And so that would be 12 right there. And that shows my demonstration of understanding that those are going to be symmetrical. Okay? And if this is an IAC right there, the last phrase right there, then this has to be less than that. So I'm going to put a half cadence there. And then this is going to be A, and this is going to be A prime because although it says parallel, so they're the same, the cadences at the end will make it slightly different. Okay? And then a repeated phrase. Boom, A. It can be anything you want. I'm making up numbers now. Could be 2, if it's so it's 4, etc. But then if I put an IAC there, or whatever I put here, I do the same thing there. It's just repeating the phrase. Heck, you could even go so far as to be cheeky and do something like this, and go like that. You could say that, but more often it's like this. What happens is sometimes you get something that's masquerading like a period structure, okay? especially if it's written out a little differently the second time, right? But the cadences are the same, and it's really just a repeated phrase, so it tricks you. And that's that. I'm going to call this here, and I'll do another video for the other midterm page.